Nature is a fascinating and terrifying place. Although we may think we know all the species of the animal kingdom, there are some that defy our intelligence and any logic or reason. Their existence is dangerously close to the realm of monstrosity, and even though they look like something out of a horror story, make no mistake, what you're about to see is real, very real. And if you join us on today's adventure, you too will discover the mysteries behind these terrifying creatures that don't belong on Earth. Giant creature accidentally discovered in the desert. Number 10. Unknown bird. There's no better way to begin this tour of the unknown than by confronting one of the most amazing creatures of recent years. We refer, of course, to a strange bird that has grown up with a feature so creepy you won't be able to get it out of your head. Watch. The chicken looks normal, doesn't it? Everything on its body looks fine, but when we pay attention to its legs, we understand that the laws of nature have been completely defied. The animal has 2 forelegs and 2 hind legs, as if it were a lion or a dog, but unlike them, it doesn't have absolute control over these limbs. Its brain doesn't allow it to move them at will. In fact, it must make a gigantic effort to move forward. It has become a great difficulty in its life, and that's why its owners have to feed and bathe it every day. Far from being an advantage, the deformity of this bird has made it more vulnerable and weaker. Number 9. A real legend. If you've ever visited or heard anything about Malaysia, you'll surely remember that it's a country full of amazing folk legends. The number of oral tales in this society surpasses that of many other cultures, and out of all of them, there's one that has started to become popular after a group of hunters discovered the following creature. It's a creature that's closer to chimeras than to an animal. Its furry body is small and resembles that of sloths, especially because of its irregular and sharp claws. However, the most peculiar feature is found in its face, which has human features and seems embedded in a body with which it bears almost no relation. Some Malaysians have claimed that it is the mysterious creature that the gods sent to the hunters. Traditionally, these animals had human faces so as not to frighten the inhabitants of Earth. Their bodies could be that of sloths, dogs, or birds. The veracity of this footage hasn't yet been verified. The image is disturbing, and more than a few people would prefer this to be a hoax than to have to deal with the existence of such a monster. Number 8. Rare fish. The African coasts have always been home to some of the ocean's greatest enigmas. Large marine creatures have been wreaking havoc here for centuries, and it isn't uncommon for fishermen to occasionally come across genuine oddities like the one you're about to see. When the fishermen picked up their nets and dropped them on the boat, they discovered they had caught something disturbing. It was a fish similar to a trout, but with a spooky peculiarity. 2 small arms are born from the body of this creature, which are similar to the pincers of a crab, and it doesn't hesitate to use against its captors at the slightest provocation. The terrifying image of this creature reminds us of hybrid animals, monstrous creatures that for some reason manage to mix with other species to form deformed bodies contrary to what we generally know of nature. It has been impossible to make any sense of this genetic mutation, and science is still puzzled, since a species with such characteristics had never been recorded. Number 7. An unusual mixture. And while we're on the subject of mutations, what you're about to discover can easily enter the list of the strangest animals you've ever seen in your life. The case takes us to Ohio and presents us with the story of a horse breeder and the strange animal he's been taking care of for the past few years. Are you ready to be amazed? What you have before your eyes is exactly what it looks like. an animal that fits perfectly into the concept of hybrid species, and that, in this particular case, combines body parts of a dog and those of a horse. If you look at the back, we could safely say that it's a small pony or a developing horse. Its tail, its posture, even the shape of its legs, everything fits the image of this animal. But when we see it from the front, its head is something completely different. Here we can clearly see the silhouette of a dog, along with its muzzle and ears. And although its neck is perhaps too long for a canine, there's no doubt that two species coexist in this creature. Faced with such an image, many people have asked this man how it was possible for such an animal to be born. Some have even suggested that it was the owner himself who promoted this crossbreeding. But in the face of the wave of criticism and comments, the man disappeared from social media. Number 6. Unusual captures. When it comes to the Jurassic period, science has made us understand that most of the dinosaurs suffered from an absolute extermination due to the impact of the great meteorite that decimated life on Earth. However, it has recently been discovered that there were several species that survived the chaos. We're talking about real dinosaurs that managed to hide from danger and survived for a very long time. Some say even to this day. The video you're about to see seems to confirm this hypothesis, and since it was published, no one has stopped thinking about it. The video shows what everyone has identified as a young Triceratops, which is being transported by a group of people to an unknown location. Sources claim that this animal was captured in a forest in Japan. Therefore, the Japanese government will be in charge of keeping this creature hidden from the public eye. However, this isn't the only theory. There's a strong possibility that it is a mechanical dinosaur or something similar. Of course, this is a very real possibility, and so far, nothing is completely confirmed. Number 5. Infernal dog. Vietnam can become quite a disturbing place when it sets its mind to it, and videos like this one will make you understand the horrors that lurk in the provinces of this country. The following footage went viral on social media. It shows a man trying to get someone's attention inside a makeshift security checkpoint. Darkness covers the interior of this structure. Anyone would expect to see a security agent or someone upset because someone ruined their nap. But the reality is very different. Something unthinkable emerges from the gloom. A creature with 4 legs and a size so huge that even the most powerful bear could have serious problems to face it. The animal is robust and bears some resemblance to a dog. However, there's no breed that can reach this size. The beast of darkness should easily measure about 3 meters and weigh almost half a ton. Its long legs allow it to make astonishing leaps, and if it weren't for the fact that it is chained, it will probably be capable of tearing apart anyone who crosses its path. The appearance of this beast has surprised the networks, and a great debate has been born to try to understand what this creature is. At the moment, people are baffled, and it seems that no one has managed to get to the bottom of this disturbing mystery. Number 4. A different goat. The following mysterious creature was discovered on a farm in the US state of Texas, and it's the kind of animal that can give you nightmares just by seeing it once. What you see on screen is the offspring of a goat that this farmer helped bring into the world. However, what he never imagined is that the animal would come with one of the most disturbing appearances he had ever seen. The little goat has a large face with only one eye in the center, similar to the Cyclops of legends. The eyeball has a large size, and in spite of this, the kid still has difficulties to see clearly. According to the farmer, the goat lives disoriented and finds it difficult to maintain a normal life. It constantly requires the attention of the family, which has become a great burden. However, the animal is now part of the farm, and therefore, it's part of the life of these farmers, despite the great panic it caused at first. Number 3. Washed by the sea. Strolling along a paradise beach in Thailand sounds like an excellent plan, doesn't it? The moonlight and stars illuminate the night sky and the white sand while the sound of the sea drags the seaweed, the rocks, and the body of a creature that could paralyze your heart. This isn't a made-up story, but accurately describes what this tourist couple experienced on their trip a couple of years ago. While moving along the shore, they spotted a lump in the middle of the sand, and when they approached it, they thought they were having a nightmare. The footage they filmed shows us an amorphous being of a pale color. Its elongated body starts with a shapeless head and ends in an elongated fin form, which 2 feet emerge. The scene evokes the image of tritons or mermaids, so common in fantasy books and sailors' tales, but which no adult would believe are true. However, fantasy seems to surpass reality in this video, and what we thought impossible has become reality. At least, that's what it looks like. But only you can judge this video and make the decision you think is right. Number 2. A flying cat? Maybe you weren't aware of it, but in less than a decade, cats have equaled dogs in popularity. These felines are conquering the world, but sometimes, in the eagerness of many people to reproduce them in order to sell their offspring, disturbing situations have occurred. The best example can be found in this video, in which we can observe a beautiful cat that suffers from a strange mutation in its body. If you look closely, 2 elongated and hairy protuberances are coming out of its torso, similar to 2 small wings. However, the animal is in perfect physical condition and its health hasn't suffered any alteration. These mysterious wings are due to a genetic alteration in the body of the animal, and contrary to what you might imagine, this isn't the only case. In various places around the world, dozens of people have shared images showing their cats with this same condition. Some have nicknamed them the Pegasus cats, after the winged horses of the god Zeus, while others simply refer to them as flying cats. Of course, these cats can actually fly, and the protuberances are really inconvenient for their day-to-day lives. But these are good nicknames for one of the most amazing conditions ever recorded in the feline world. Number 1. Unnatural creatures. We are about to meet a creature that's going to completely change your day and your mood. Its form is so nauseating and terrifying that we wish we could recommend you not to go any further, but we know that curiosity is a greater force, and so you'd better see for yourself what these researchers discovered in the Indonesian jungle. The images aren't misleading. What you're seeing is exactly what it is. A creature resembling an adult rattlesnake but with hundreds of legs protruding from its skin and moving at the same pace. Researchers noted that this is an unknown species of centipede and has attracted a lot of attention not only because of its bulky size, but also because of its gelatinous appearance. Somehow, this animal seems to be melting on the ground, but in reality, this is how it walks and moves. Its hundreds of small legs move forward at an unstoppable pace that drags the body and carries it forward. It's certainly one of the most disturbing images you've ever seen of nature. But that's because you haven't seen the horrors that lurk in the heart of Australia or in the African jungles. The world is full of terrifying images and monstrous creatures that only the brave dare to face. If you aren't afraid of danger and monsters in the most inhospitable corners of our planet, then you're invited to join us and decipher the enigmas hidden behind the following videos.